just what I'm stoked on snowboards now is that people are having quivers, you know, it's like the one board's not the board for every day, and that's how surfing's always been. You know, now you can approach it just like playing on the golf course, and you got your bag of golf clubs, you know, you got your shot for your 7-iron, you got your shot for your 5-iron, you got your shot for your driver. That's why I'm stoked on the Jones line. There's so many options. And sometimes it's just based on mood too. It's not always condition based. There's just sometimes, you know, it's just like turning on the radio in your car when you're driving. Like there's some days you want to listen to jazz, or some days you want to listen to punk rock, metal, country, whatever it might be. And you can approach snowboarding that way too, and approach this whole Surf Series line the same way, just on your mood. You know, when you learn the board, when you learn the curve, when you learn the bottom contours, you're gonna know how to flow with them and what style you want to enjoy that day, or how you want to mob, whatever you want to do. So yeah, there's a lot of similarities in surfing and snowboarding. I think that's why most of us are drawn to both sports. The most congruent aspect in surfing and snowboarding is the rail. The use of the rail line, the importance of the performance of the board. Whether you're surfing or snowboarding, you're always on one rail or the other. You know, the initiation of the rail is always the transition into your next move, your next line, your next direction. It relates so much to someone's style, their performance, their power. I mean, so much is generated from the rail in both surfing and snowboarding. And when I design surfboards and when I design snowboards, that's probably 70% of my focus. And then the rest of the shape evolves around the rail shapes, from the camber to the rockers, nose shape, tail shape. It all relates to the rail shape. So that's always the first step in designing any type of my boards. This here is the new Mountain Surfer, and this is a rockered bottom. So you can see the gradual curve from the midpoint back. It slightly drops, but it's not extreme. You always have less curve in the tail. Most of your stance is more towards the back, especially on these Surf Series boards and directional boards. Having less curve in the tail, that's your gas pedal. You know, we're talking maybe 1/4 inch at the tip of the tail here. And how we have a little more in the nose. And the reason we have a little more, this is the entry. We call this the entry region of the rocker. But having that gradual curve and then feed into a flatter curve, which allows the board to accelerate. But having a lot less here, it's gonna allow the board to plane more evenly. The more you can keep on the snow, faster it's gonna go. When you have a rocker board, the whole board's planing, and it will accelerate in the softer snow. So yeah, we started with that wood plank, you know, and using a lot of my surfboard concepts on the bottom contour, which eventually evolved into the Mountain Surfer. And that's when Jeremy and I decided, like, hey, let's try a real board. So the Storm Chaser was our first real board in the lineup of the Surf Series. We went from the Storm Chaser to the Mind Expander, and we came up with the Storm Wolf. And then last year we just added a freestyle board into the Jones Surf Series, the Mind Expander Twin. And it's still slightly directional just for that surf vibe. And then we have a split board option available with the Storm Chaser and the Mind Expander. And then this year, you know, the Storm Chaser and Mind Expander were originally all with my surf rocker in them. And then this year we added a camber version to the Mind Expander. And then we have two different flexes in the Mind Expander. We have an Ultra construction, which is more of a carbon, stiffer construction, and then the standard one. And both the new cambered Mind Expander and the Ultra Mind Expander have the same curve and camber in the bottom contour. Yeah, so this season's graphic is kind of a reflection on design I've been doing on my surfboards for quite a while, actually. It probably lasts 8 to 10 years maybe. I know Jeremy was always drawn to it, and everyone else on the team, and it's just a neat aesthetic, and it looks great on the snowboards. Just how I work with my team and surfboards, you know, I'm able to work with with Jeremy on developing the snowboard. We stay in a lot of touch, like, hey, how's it feel? I get his feedback. The guys on the team, like Jimmy Goodman, Forrest Scherer, Harry Carney, I get all their feedback, and I take that stuff very serious, you know, and I've learned so much. And then getting to snowboard with those guys really helped me naturally design snowboards and progress with just like being on the snow with the team. I mean, I love it. I'm so stoked to be working with everyone at Jones.